Everyone, and welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. Today being Monday, it's your Monday gear review. I've got a couple of things that I wanted to show you guys today that I've been using for a while now and pretty impressed with, and I want to share it with you. That's kind of how I do things. I just test out the gear. Sometimes companies send me stuff, other times it's good friends, and other times I purchase the gear and just want to share it with you guys. So kind of a conglomeration in there of different things that you can check out. Today, I'm going to go over a couple things with my bow that I definitely think that everyone should check out or even purchase and add for your bow if it's something that fits your needs. So there's going to be three things that I go over today. Stay tuned for those three things, and for a couple of them, I've got discount codes that you guys can go and check out, and let's get started. So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Wild Arrow. They're the bow shop, the pro shop. For those of you that don't know what a pro shop is, just basically very detail-oriented archery shop that you can go in, get your bow tuned, and get everything set up the way that you need it and have a very personalized experience rather than a big box shop. You can go in, pick out the bow that you need, or ask questions, get pointed in the right direction, and they set it up and tune it. Very knowledgeable guys, and I love working with them over there at Wild Arrow. So shout out to them because they help me get my bow set up every year and whenever I need tune-ups. So this is and has been my bow for this year. So it's the Mathews V3X 29. I shot the 29 and the 33, and to be honest with you, this one just felt right. It was the right size. The riser is huge on it. Even for a 29-inch bow, I think the riser is comparable to a normal 31 or 32-inch axle-to-axle bow. Very forgiving for its size. I've shot it well. I love shooting it at Mountain Archery Fest and Total Archery Challenge, so MAF and TAC. For those of you that go out and shoot those events, definitely recommend both of them. They both have great things to go do. So a couple of things here on my bow and things that I generally get asked about. So first and foremost, the bow hitch. Okay, so the bow hitch is this little hook here on the Mathews. So I added two little rubber washers in between the actual metal and the riser. Let's see if I can work the camera right here. Okay, so normally the bow hitch will slap onto the side of your sight. With the new Mathews and also with the new Hoyts, because the Mathews, it goes through the riser. With the Hoyt, you've got the Picatinny on the front that you can utilize, and I do recommend that you guys do that just because, again, it gets everything more center in line as far as weight distribution and keeping things balanced on your bow. But because of that, for the newer bows, the bow hitch mounts directly to the riser. If you have basically a bow that's older than this year, you would put this, or if you have a sight that mounts on the side, you put the bow hitch onto the side of your bow. So I keep this on here. I've shot with it on and off just to see if there's a difference. I don't notice a difference, guys. It doesn't add any more vibration, especially with adding those rubber dampeners because it was directly metal to metal. I added the rubber dampeners or the rubber washers in between the bow hitch and the riser. No extra vibration. I don't notice it in the wind, which I can't see why you would. But it's an awesome option because basically a strap on either your bino harness or your shoulder straps of your backpack will hold your bow. And basically it hooks in like so. Right. Well, I've got my thumb in the way there. But basically you have the strap and it slides on and holds your bow just under your arm. And it holds it in a horizontal fashion like this. Excuse me, guys. Okay. It is not pricey at all for what it's worth. Keeps your bow off the ground. I utilized it a lot during Total Archery Challenge and Mountain Archery Fest. I haven't used it a ton during hunting just because maybe you guys do this or don't do this. I always hike with an arrow knocked just in case. I haven't really tagged any animals other than two sage grouse this year, so take that for what it's worth. But that's how I generally carry my bow when I'm hunting. So I don't necessarily use this when I'm hunting. There is occasional times where I'm planning on doing a glassing session, so I'll just strap my bow on my shoulder strap instead of putting it on the back of my pack. If you would prefer to have it closer at hand, this is definitely a great option, but it's also great for, again, Total Archery Challenge and Mountain Archery Fest. Armando's just an amazing dude. Definitely go check out the Bow Hitch. I can leave the link down below, guys, but that's how I use it. Again, it keeps your bow off the ground, so you're not setting it on the ground when you're going to glass. Between this and the tripod that I've got for the Matthews, my bow never really touches the ground. So I like that. Keeps it clean. Doesn't get things bumped around. You don't have to try and find a spot to put the bow down. The Bow Hitch. Definitely go check it out, guys. Again, I'll leave the link down below. Okay. Now, the next thing I wanted to go over here were the strings. So I love these strings, and the light's not doing it justice, but this is a bright orange with black serving, and I think it's Florida orange or Flow orange, and these strings are fantastic. I'm just barely starting to see a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of fraying, but it's not even, I mean, you can't even really see it on camera. Now, I know the light's probably blowing it out a little bit, but you have to like look at it like this to be able to see it, guys. I mean, from a distance, it's super clean, and there's waxless. So these have the bloodline fiber in it. They're from A3 Archery. Brent is an awesome guy. He and his wife are the ones knocking these out. He does so many different tests on it, nerds out way more about it than I do. So if you have any questions, definitely go message Brent. But the thing that really stuck out to me was that they're waxless. And so for me, that means they collect less dust than strings that have wax in them, which are most strings. And so I wanted to check it out, see how the stretch is on them, because again, when you have wax on your strings, you get it heated up, the wax, and this is all minuscule things, guys, that you may not even have known before, but the wax can melt out of the strings if it gets too hot, like when you're out on your early season hunts. If you leave your bow in the car and it gets hot, your strings can get a little bit more stretch to them if they lose their wax. So I was really interested in the idea of it being waxless, how that would affect my strings. And what I've noticed, I've been shooting these for a couple months now, and I shoot every day, multiple arrows a day. And so I've had hundreds and hundreds of arrows through these strings. I've taken them out on my elk hunt this year. I've taken them out on my archery deer hunts. Been through some nasty stuff, some good old scrub oak, and all the things that tear your clothes up and make you all scratched up and look like you got in a fight with a cat. And these strings have held up to the test. They're doing amazing. I haven't lost any poundage, and I haven't lost any feet per second due to that. There has been no stretch in me shooting them, and also, again, them getting beat up in the backcountry. So I love these strings. These are the strings that I'll be using. I love them so much, I asked for a discount code for you guys. Check out the discount code down below. You guys are able to save some money and get the best strings on the market. He does offer a couple of different tiers. So this is the top tier, the Bloodline Fiber with waxless strings. If you want your normal, I want to say it's 452X, and you guys can correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But you can get the normal strings at a little bit cheaper price that do have wax. They don't have the Bloodline Fiber in them. So definitely go check out A3 Archery. Let's go support these guys. He's a growing company. He's just a great family man, loves what he's doing, and absolutely loves making strings. So go check out A3 Archery. There's just amazing bow strings, guys. I can't say that enough. It's taken a beating so far. I don't feel like I need to replace them. They're just doing fantastic. And on top of that, they just look clean. I mean, come on. Got to get that orange and black accent right there. Okay. So, talked about the bow hitch, talked about the strings here, and the last but not least, guys. I mean, this is to me super important. To top off everything on this bow, the grips. Now, this is personalized. It's RedBeard Outdoors on one side, and then on the other side, it says, get out, live your life, and love it, which is what I always say, guys. Those are from Rattler Grips. You can find them on Instagram as official Rattler Grips. I've tagged him in a couple things, so you can go check him out. Tell him I send you his way, and he just does great work, guys. For me, he does work on so many things, from if I say so many things, but so many brands. PSE, he does Matthews, obviously. I like shooting directly off the riser, so I just got the side plates. He also does Hoyt. So on my Hoyt back there, my backup bow, I've got some side plates as well because, again, I like shooting directly off the riser. I like the feel of that contact. The coldness of the metal doesn't really bother me. I know for some people it does. Personal preference, guys, but I like to shoot directly off the riser. So I've got these side plates. Again, great quality. I've put these just like the strings and everything else on the bow. I've put them through the ringer. They've gone on through wet, cold, hot, sweaty hands, multiple shooting, as far as, arrows. They're not coming unstuck whatsoever. And they just look good. So he has so many different offerings, guys. He'll even make some out of antlers for you if you want the antler grips. I'm pretty sure he makes his grips for like Cam Haynes and a couple of other guys as well. But guys, definitely go check out official Rattler Grips. I mean, man, they just look good. And you can get them customized too. You can ask him to customize them the way you want, to say something, or send him a symbol that you want on it. He'll be able to work that out for you with his etching machine that he's got, and get that figured out. So those are just some 3 customization things that I've done to my bow that, in my opinion, have good function. I didn't like the grip that came on the Matthews bow just because it's a little bit more rounded. I couldn't get a consistent grip the way that I wanted to, so I wanted to shoot off the riser. Once I started doing that, I did the same thing with my Hoyt, and man, to me, it allows for less possible issues and less having to think about the grip on your bow. I love being able to just shoot off the riser with these side plates, and it's a conversation starter. Asking you what it says and being able to talk to people about these grips is awesome. The strings, excuse me, guys, I'm coming out of some nasty junk, probably from being up in the cold all weekend. But the strings, guys, definitely go check out A3 Archery Strings. Get the best strings on the market. I've had a couple of different manufacturing strings, and they've all done good, but these have tested positive for me as far as just how amazing they are. For those of you guys listening on the podcast, just trust me. Go check them out. Go look at my Instagram if you have any questions about how they look. And then, of course, the Bow Hitch. Guys, the Bow Hitch is awesome. Okay? He's got a great idea. They're doing amazing things over there. I love the fact that he gives so much of his life. He just recently retired, and he retired into his passion project, which is the Bow Hitch. They have so many things coming down the pike, and that's just what I wanted to share with you guys today. 3 things that I've done to my bow that, for me, have personalized it and have allowed it to function even better for me. 3 things that maybe you've never even heard of, such as the grips, A3 Archery Strings, waxless strings with the bloodline fiber, and the Bow Hitch. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Go check them all out. Links are going to be down below. Leave a comment. What's your favorite thing that you've done to customize your bow? And if you're listening in on the podcast, well, go check out the YouTube. Leave a comment. Love to have you guys over there. Thanks so much for tuning in today. And as always, get out, live your life, and love it.